Hey everybody, Sewell with the Engearment.com podcast coming at you from Monkii Headquarters South with my man Monkii Dan. Good to have you on the show, Dan.
Good to be here. It's been too long, man.
It has, since our last Monkii escapades.
Yeah, I think we did two Jones Pass trips, right? Okay.
2 splitboarding / Monkii training sessions and 1 camping. Winter camping at that. Yeah, we'll have to put that link in this video description. You're doing handstand push-ups on the Monkii bars in the snow.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
That was pretty epic, man. I love that. That was really fun. The soundtrack you put on there was really fun and funky, and the monkey sounds. Yeah. It was good.
Yeah, well, it's like, it's just, my thing's always been, I like balancing out your splitboarding. I feel like I just like that full body, comprehensive day,
Oh, for sure.
So I like to round it out.
I'm sure we kind of were amusing for the people in the backcountry skiing and splitboarding community, like 2 goober monkeys on splitboards, tie a monkey to a tree and go to town on it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
The first day of the snow was amazing, like one of the better days of the season. And it's very evident in that video where it's hooting and hollering and having a good old time. Day 2, we hit it a little bit early, a little crusty, a little hard to turn in.
Yeah.
So we had even bigger workout that day.
Yeah.
So that was worth it. So you have been up to a lot since I saw you last.
Yeah.
Yes.
A few things.
Quite a few. Family life as well as business. So which should we start with first?
I mean, the most pertinent thing's Monkii 360, I think.
Monkii 360, nice. This is on Kickstarter.
Yeah, we'll launch on Kickstarter September 10th. We think it's our best product yet.
Nice.
And I think the best way to summarize it, it's a core and cardio trainer all in one.
Well, and listeners, I actually was over at Monkii headquarters and I saw Dan go through a workout, and it is very awesome. It is, I'm impressed. I'm excited for the world to see this.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. Do you want to talk a little more about what it focuses on and what it's comprised of?
Yeah, so it's a sphere shape with a special grip we made. So one of my favorite strong first terms is irradiation.
Yes.
So we want to make this grip so you have to grip it. It's not like your standard, everything, if it's a dumbbell, kettlebell, all these things, it's this kind of same handle. So we wanted something different. So we made this grip that has a little bit more of a pinch to it, but you can still really get into it. So one, there's this irradiation grip. We made special bands that have an elasticity to the sheath so they can stretch longer so they don't bottom out.
That was impressive when I saw that.
Yeah,
that's game changer.
Because I learned the hard way on that. But and then as far as the training, like the evolution was, we wanted to do something that was more powerful, dynamic, rotational. Our existing products, Monkii bars, Pocket Monkii, they move in a different plane versus 360 is a lot more rotational focused, and it's a lot more cardio as well. So when you add in this jumping as well as the twisting, it jacks you up quick.
Yes.
And the other kind of inspiration for it was stand-up paddleboarding. So I love that stroke, that just trunk flexion, standing. It's just great core workout, great arm workout, full body balance. So there's kind of a little bit of that influence as well. A lot of moves you're doing this kind of stroking. Sounds funny to say, but you're doing this kind of stand-up paddleboard motion, and just the range of motion you're going through. It's so much different than how you really move in daily life. It reminds me more of being an athlete, where you're playing hockey, playing lacrosse. You're doing these big, powerful rotational movements. So I'm super excited, and I think it's a little bit more scalable as far as you can tone it down and do a little bit more basic stuff, or if you really want to get wild, for lack of a better word, you can really tone it up. So huge breadth of opportunity, and I can't wait for September 10th.
I am excited for you too. This is awesome. And so speaking of the breadth of adjustability, there will be interchangeable cores, right? What are those called?
Yep, the bungee. So the mass core. Yep. Yeah. So you can change the weight of both the bungee as well as there's a weight you can add. So the bottom of the Monkii 360 unscrews. You pop in what's called the mass core. It adds weight, and especially anything you're pulling up or laterally across, it's gas on the fire. So
yeah, it's true. I was watching you use it, and I saw the video, and I can't wait for the public to see the video when the mass core drops and the bass drops.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah, it's worth, for the music alone, it's worth seeing.
It is really cool stuff. In the band, that was very impressive too, because as a trainer myself, I've broken many resistance bands, even the ones in the nylon sheath. So your concept and your product is really going to shape lives.
Thank you.
Pretty cool. Yeah. And I like that you're talking about the transverse rotation, you know, because a lot of people, especially if they're in CrossFit or just plain lifting, they're in one plane of motion basically, and they're trying to add in some other planes of motion, and they hardly ever touch that third plane.
Yep.
And so I'm glad you're addressing that in an athletic way, not just like loading it to load it, but loading it in patterns that mimic real world activities like stand-up paddleboarding or you know, chopping wood like we were talking about earlier and stuff like that. It's functional, it's real.
Right.
It's cool stuff.
And you know, I have this theory that I think it's very anecdotal. I don't even know if that's the correct term to use, but I have this theory that rotational element is going to be beneficial for back pain as well. So I'm curious to see what people think, and you know, just developing that musculature again that's involved in those rotational movements. I think it's just something. If you're kind of a standard American worker where you're at a desk, or you know, you're not out chopping wood or plowing fields, you know, you're not training a lot of muscles that you probably should be. So hopefully this can help.
People here in Colorado going to shovel snow.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I just, you know, and you know, having a daughter now, it's like I could see, you know, I'm on the ground with her, rolling around, wrestling, throwing her around, and you know, I'm doing all these movements that, because I train in a certain way, I think they're not challenging. Yeah. But I could see someone that, you know, doesn't have mobility or isn't training in all these different movement patterns, how, you know, it could really affect your life in all these ways you wouldn't have thought of. So. Oh,
for sure. You know, and on your podcast, which I recommend you guys check out too, a few episodes ago, you mentioned watching your daughter and the movements and the great patterns that she has. Like, all babies come out developing good skill sets.
Right.
And we have 3 nieces and a 4th one on the way. Well, my great joy is spending time on the ground with them and just studying their movement patterns. And I'm not the only person in the world to think this. You're not like Gray Cook, you know. I met him before I was doing my FMS. He's all about that, watching his kids, like, what a great squat pattern, what a good hinge, what a good roll, what a good crawl, like all these patterns that we lose as we're sitting in, you know, our school desks, our desk jobs, driving our cars. And so to tackle those patterns and make them more effective and utilize tools like the Monkii 360 and stuff to get people back to where they should be, so they can function better in life, and to do it safely.
Absolutely. It's so funny, you know, watching. When I see her move around, I see like yoga moves. You know, I see her going to like almost a pigeon type pose. I see her, the way her shoulders are rotated when she's crawling. Just all these little things like, oh. So that's where this kind of normal, natural human movement comes from, that we just, you know, we've just kind of convenienced away.
Convenienced away, exactly, yeah.
I like that term.
Yeah, I think we should definitely write that one down. I've never heard it put that way, but that's some good copywriting. Yeah, convenienced away.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's just interesting watching her squat, and then, you know, when I was training folks a few years back, just how limited different mobility or movement patterns were that I think are taken for granted. So
yeah, and you know, I like that. As we get older, people do take it for granted for convenience. You know, like you mentioned. I've had the privilege of working with a lot of different populations who don't have the convenience and the ability to use their limbs. You know, some are partially paralyzed, some just horrible stuff that's happened to them. So, yeah, the things that you and I get to do are it's amazing to love those patterns and share that love of fitness with the rest of the world. Is really infectious. Right. Good stuff. So September 10th, Kickstarter. We'll definitely have a link below for that.
Cool.
And besides the Monkii 360, let's talk a little bit more about your other products.
Yeah?
Yeah, so go ahead and shoot for that.
Yeah, so what we have currently going on is we have Pocket Monkii and Monkii Bars 2, as well as the IsoCore. And the oldest is Monkii Bars 2. They're classic. They're basically a smaller, portable version of rings. It's a straight bar. It's got a tapered grip. Sean and I use them down in the mountains, just tossed over a tree, did full body workouts, post Splitboard session. I keep them in my car, so when we're road tripping, I'll set them up to my roof rack and just do some rows, maybe some core work, and they're super versatile. So Monkii Bars 2, 2 independent anchor straps. They also have detachable foot straps, so you can do more focused core work. Little bit more, they're a little bit more unstable, and you can do a little bit more advanced exercises. Whereas Pocket Monkii, it's it's a gym that fits in your pocket. Single anchor point. A little bit more challenging to do the more advanced exercises like dips and muscle ups, but if you're using it at home, off the side of your car, where you have this kind of single anchor point and you're leaning your body weight back, it's awesome. Super simple, super easy to adjust. We have a cam buckle. There's an outdoor anchor I keep with me at all times. And it also comes with the carabiner, so you can just quickly adjust in and out. And Pocket Monkii, we make it right down the road here in Colorado.
That's awesome.
And we have aluminum grips, so they're super durable, super strong. And we combine the foot loop into the grip, so you basically just have to rotate the handle in and out of the way, and they're good to go.
Do you have
smart.
a Pocket Monkii? No, I don't.
Okay, I have you won't leave with that one.
Well, thank you. I'll put it to use tonight.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I purchased your very first Monkii off of Kickstarter.
That's right.
Yeah. I actually got 3 of them, and I gifted 2 of them away because I love the wood handles. And then the Monkii 2, I have 2 or 3 of those, and those are in the truck. I know we're just at my truck looking at all the crazy gear from Patagonia and MSR and all the stuff that comes out next year. And beneath all that was 2 more Monkii.
Okay.
So they're in there next to the mace.
Oh, man. His truck's like a toy chest.
It is. I love it.
Epicness, yeah.
I open it up, I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do today?
Oh, yeah.
It's a good time. There's a guitar in there. I mean, yeah, it's a kid's toy chest.
Oh, I forgot the Isocore.
Yes, Isocore.
Isocore is kind of like a mini 360. The band weights don't change, and really the training is also important. So Isocore training is more isometric in focus. So you're doing these pauses, these holds. It's more slow. It's like you're moving through honey. Slow, smooth, controlled movements.
I like that, moving through honey. So you're doing like static holds with isometric.
Holds, slow, swings, all that. 360 is the opposite. It's like gas on the fire, you know.
So it's more of a higher intensity. Using time instead of reps too.
That's right, yeah. So the app we have the Monkii app now. It's out in App Store. It's available on Google as well, Google Play. And basically we'll build the Monkii 360 training on top of that. What we'll do is we'll change the reps to a timer. It's a totally hands-free experience. You don't have to touch it, so you can grab water, do anything you need to do, and just stay totally focused in your workout. So we're really focusing on that short, intense, high-octane workout. It's not meant to totally ruin your day. It's meant to, you'll feel it, but maybe you can do something else later, a few other things later. That's kind of what we were talking about. That's kind of our new thing, this micro workout concept.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, on your podcast you touched on that, and it's very serendipitous. The concept you mentioned, the leopard. Leopard,
right.
It's actually in this book from Pavel, and in that book, I'm quoted in the book on page 43, and the audiobook version came out yesterday morning.
Okay.
So I have a recording of Pavel saying my name in his beautiful Russian accent. It's a highlight of my life.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
And if you're not super deep in the strength conditioning world, Pavel's like, he's like the CEO or the king or the whatever you want. He's at the top. So highly respected, highly revered guy. So to be quoted by him is props to Sean. I mean,
thanks,
congrats,
man.
That's
a dream come true. It's pretty awesome. Oh, thanks. It's testament too to what you've come across. Is grease and groove or working in those micro workouts, right? Where you don't have to spend 45 minutes at the local gym getting crushed. You can train smart using time like you're using in your Monkii 360, and working through different energy systems and treating yourself with love and respect and making the most of your time to spend with your family and doing things you love.
Right.
So that's where my head's at. It seems like that's where your head's at, and I'm hoping a lot more people catch wind of that and improve their quality of life.
Well, I think that's kind of where we're heading with our products, the past as well as future. But it's such this American thing of we're so stuck in this hour-long gym workout where you've got to be in a pool of sweat or else you're not doing any good. And reading, listening to podcasts, and just kind of examining myself for the last couple of years, especially the last year since becoming a dad. It's the stress I think we're in this chronic overstress pattern, and exercise is just making it worse instead of better.
You're absolutely right. Actually, I wrote a paper about this 2 years ago using heart rate variability. So a very accurate measure of stress. I even did some C-reactive protein test
Really?
with blood. Yeah, I was
Okay.
and mine was really high. So I had to re-examine some things in my life. But utilizing that information and training smart, I was able to get the heart rate variability up into the 80s and 90s, which is
Right.
really healthy and happy, right? That means not only can you go have a great workout session or training session, but you can handle some major life stuff. You can go, we have nieces, like I mentioned, you can go harder than nieces all weekend long, or you can handle some stressful thing at the job, or, life happens, so you got to be able to handle it. And so if your workout took you out of position to handle life, then that's not productive.
Totally.
Yeah. So I wish and I hope and I think the people, especially here in America, will catch wind of this and adopt a more open mindset that crushing it for 45 to an hour and being miserable for a few days after is not sustainable health practice.
Right. Right. Well, and I think too, it's adopting this attitude of it's squeezing every drop of movement potential out of your day. So it's taking the stairs, parking farther to walk to your office, doing, 25 squats if you go to the bathroom. Just it's that accumulated volume, I think.
Yes.
Really, it all counts. Everything counts.
It does. I like they were talking about this earlier. I could pull up bar, I have a pull-up bar in the house, and I'll just do 2 or 3 here and there, and it adds up.
Oh, yeah.
It teaches the pattern correctly, and that way if you're training to failure, you're failing your training, right? So I like to train to 80%,
Right.
and then leave a couple reps in the tank,
Right.
and go do something else, and come
Right.
back to it and do it good again.
Right.
So yeah, I like your theory. Plus, you're playing with your almost year-old daughter now, so
Yeah.
that's the best part, right?
Yeah.
And then squeezing in some reps of that over here, or just, I appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's sustainable.
Yeah. Well, I've got my kid routine, my baby routine. So it's I'll do push-ups, play with her for a second, then run over to my pocket monkey that hangs on my bathroom door, bust out some rows, or maybe a little, minute plank. She'll come over, steal my watch, and it's just instead of resisting and trying to, fight against the current. I'm just changing what I'm doing to fit into the current situation. So. Yeah, I really think so much of fitness is just mindset and your perspective versus, what definitely matters, and, looking through the quick and the dead here, and, you guys have got some stuff dialed tight, which I'm stoked to read this thing.
Yeah,
But,
it's a fun read.
oh, yeah. But, even to just going, I'm definitely a person that goes more by feel, and I think that's just part of, I've been training at a pretty high level since I was, a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
So I think I know myself well, but if your training age is relatively young, I think, what you guys have in here is awesome. And I'm stoked to read it so we can do it for some monkey training.
Oh, for sure. I'm looking forward to that too. And, ladies and gentlemen in the podcast here, Monkii Dan is extremely fit and extremely healthy, trust me. So when he goes by his perceived exertions, RPE basically, that is a very legit way to go, especially for somebody as well conditioned as Monkii Dan. On the way here, my wife asked me if Dan would have his shirt off for the podcast. His shirt is on, for record, but it might come off later when we're training.
I just noticed your shirt's half dome. That's awesome.
Thanks, man. Yeah, this is a local company here in Boulder, Kind Designs.
Okay.
They're all mountain ranges, right?
Cool.
And recently we did a free solo giveaway, and I saw your picture of Alex.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, so we have Alex's harness, Black Diamond sent a crag bag, Backcountry.com sent a bunch of gear, Hana One from Wyoming says a bunch of supplements.
Okay.
It was such a success, and so we're going to do more giveaways, and also it's a very good movie.
Okay.
Have you seen
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Dude, it's amazing.
So I was climbing in Yosemite, this was in 2011. This was a while ago, but he passed me. I was 1,000 feet up on a feature called Middle Cathedral. It's basically right across from El Cap. And, not exceptionally difficult, but, it's a big, high route. And I just happened to look down, and Alex Honnold's fiddling with my gear. And I'm kind of like, what the hell, man?
Yeah,
you don't mess with someone's gear. But he was trying to help me. I had a piece that was kind of pulling the rope, causing drag, but yeah, I just stepped on this ledge and he just cruised on by. But then it was weird because later on he was down and over more because his girlfriend was climbing a kind of parallel route, and he was like Spider-Man. It was crazy.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that's had a chance to climb around or with Alex messing with your gear. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was wild. And I spent the night on top of El Cap, same year, when him and Hans Florian did a speed record attempt. I think they missed it by it was less than a minute. I think they missed it by literally like 40 seconds.
Oh, that's humbling.
We rappelled off maybe 100 feet so we could see them. But I climbed El Cap 2 years ago. It took us 31 hours of continuous climbing.
Whoa.
It was the hardest thing I've ever done.
I bet.
Still, and you know, watching them do it in under 3 hours is just, it's crazy. It's crazy. They're
10 times faster, and you're extremely fit person.
Yeah, but
their technique. It's practice.
Right.
Recently, I heard a saying I never heard before, and I love it. Practice makes progression.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's another thing. I think I've been thinking about this more recently. Is I personally have been very focused on the effort side, but I think there's like fitness skill or fitness practice that I think is often overlooked, and you know, especially for products like Monkii bars and Pocket Monkey, where there is a little bit more nuanced technique. Or Sean was showing me the mace, which is awesome.
It's a fun.
I can't wait to make a monkey mace.
Yes.
Mark my words.
Oh, it's Mark. It's gonna happen.
But you know, there's so much skill involved with this stuff that, again, it's that accumulated volume that it doesn't always have to be your heart rate's jacked through the roof. And so.
You're gonna change the world, Dan.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll do it. Well, speaking of things that you obviously accomplished, climber, splitboarder. We splitboarded together quite a bit, and you were a park ranger.
I was a wilderness ranger for 3 years, and I was a wildland firefighter for 2 years. And when I say years, it's really seasons.
Sure, seasons.
But I worked in Sequoia National Forest, which is kind of southern Sierras. And then I worked in Yosemite for about a half season. The government shut down, so my funding got cut, so I just went to Yosemite and did my job for free, which is pretty cool.
Wow. Way to give back to the...
Yeah, it was fun, you know. They took pretty good care of me, and, you know, you got to live in Yosemite for 3 or 4 months, so that was awesome. And then I fought fire up in Montana. I was based in Montana. We actually went to California, to Oregon, and then all over Montana, and... you know, I was fresh out of college, just ready to rage. Just you know, you'd show up at the fire cache. We had PT for an hour, so my buddy,
is PT?
Physical training.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. Physical training. So my roommate, Monkii Dave, actually, he's co-founder of Monkii.
Is he up in Montana still?
He's in Montana now. So we have Monkii HQ North, but him and I fought fire together after college. And then he went to the Peace Corps, which is a whole nother, there's just a little tangent. There's epic shots of him like in this mud hut squatting old car parts, and he was jacked. Just like lifting concrete and eating super good. The food over there is amazing. Super clean.
Where was over there?
He was in Ethiopia.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've had Ethiopian food. It's
good.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law is actually Ethiopian. They're coming here next week, and it's my favorite. It's so good.
I love eating with their hands too.
Yeah, it is.
So he's in the Peace Corps getting jacked.
So he's in the Peace Corps getting jacked, but before, you know, we'd wake up and lift in our backyard in Montana. Then we'd go to work out for another hour. Then we'd go out and, you know, you're doing manual labor. So we'd go, you know, if we weren't fighting fire, we would go basically chainsaw, you know, thin units, or, you know, go fix a sign, or just do random kind of forestry projects. So it was like, you were just going, you know, and you're 23 at the time, so you just could go so hard. But I'm glad. It was great. I'm very lucky to have been able to do that. It was an awesome, amazing experience, but I don't know about the longevity of it.
No.
As a career.
It sounds more aggressive than being an NFL player.
Yeah, it was full on.
Yeah.
Well, and then, you know, I did really enjoy wilderness. The problem with that is when you're like 25 and single, and you're in like a pretty remote wilderness area, it's just, you get a little lonely.
I would have bet.
Yeah. So, and it was, you know, I had an awesome time. I basically got paid to go backpacking. We were doing a lot of survey work, so they gave us an old map, and we'd basically, when I say we, me and a few interns, we would go like try and find these old trails to see if they still existed and map them, and then did some search and rescue, very kind of basic stuff. Did a few helicopter rescues, did some fire. I would say assistance, just with lightning strikes, and you know, if there ended up being a fire in actually both wilderness areas I worked in. So just, you know, making sure people weren't like hiking into the belly of the beast type of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was It was wild times.
You were forged. That's a crazy, awesome story.
Yeah.
You were forged in the fire, man. Hard.
So we like to say, you know, our company, we like to say we were born in the wild, you know, for, you know, we make fitness products. We like to say everyone else is born in the gym. Monkii is born in the wild.
Oh, I love that. Oh. I do my best to spend the least amount of time in the gym, and most of my income comes from being in the gym.
Right.
So I'm like,
right.
All right, people, let's get out of the gym. Let's go outside.
Well, you, every time I see you, you're always up doing something cool.
I try, you know, I'm very fortunate. I probably 3 days a week at least I get up there. And then I have a lot of people I train who want to go do those activities.
Okay.
So very fortunate. Again, like I don't train anybody that wants to get more muscular. I train people who want to enjoy life more. They want to like, oh, we saw that hike. Can we go on the hike with you next time?
Right.
Of course. Grab a sandwich. Let's go.
Right.
I train this married couple. And he's a bow hunter as well, like you.
Cool.
And his wife and him wanted to get into backcountry skiing, so I went through proper education channels. And then I found a great day. Took them to the line I took you to.
Okay.
And they had similar experiences. Powder, time of their life. And we went and got burgers and beers afterwards.
Cool.
And that's why I train people, like to get outside and enjoy our beautiful mountains. But recently I did an article with a flatlander, you know, stand-up paddleboarding and triathlons and tough mudders and all those things that are fun to those kind of people. So yeah, outside, that's where it's at.
Right.
So I love that you guys were born literally in the Peace Corps and fighting fires and like that's very awesome.
Right. Well, and I totally forgot to mention. So my first season as a wilderness ranger, I went through a program called the SCA, Student Conservation Association. They basically partner students with the land agencies. So I got partnered with Sequoia. It was in between my junior and senior year of college, so 2007, which is crazy to say now.
That's 12 years
Right,
ago.
right. It's wild saying that, but so you know, and I was still pretty green. I'd backpacked a little bit, camped a little bit, but I really didn't know much what I was doing. But I was an athlete in college, so you know, summer was always this important training time for me. And so once I got out to the wild, kind of where we were going to be working in this wilderness area, I built this gym out of like logs and rocks, made a pull-up bar from tree branches, and you know, we'd go hike all day, cross-cut squat, then I'd go back and squat. You know, I had like these different log lengths and diameters for weights, and just had a bunch of rocks I could lift and press and throw. Built a dip station. I do pull-ups with my backpack on my back, and I just, looking back, it's like, man, I wish I would have had monkey bars back then. You know, it would have been the perfect thing.
So you built your gym around the monkey
Yeah, so
bars.
exactly, yeah. So that was, which it's kind of interesting because, you know, I lived, worked, trained in the wild for this summer, and then that next year I ended up getting a starting role. I basically rode the bench all through. I actually got cut my freshman year of college. Made the team my sophomore year, basically rode the bench a few games into my senior year.
For lacrosse?
Lacrosse.
Okay.
And, you know, we weren't doing super well, and they finally, you know, after exhausting all options, they finally put me in, and I did well, and then ended up basically starting the rest of that year, and I actually got a scholarship to go back for kind of a post-grad year, which was awesome.
Wow.
Like, that was like being a pro athlete, basically.
Yeah.
You know, because you only had to take 9 credits. And
That's like halftime.
oh, it was great.
Yeah.
That was I was really fortunate to be able to do that. So yeah, basically I finished my senior year of college, went and fought fire in Montana, and then went back the following spring just for a semester. So
Wow.
it was cool.
So you literally are forged in the mountains and the outdoors, and you have an affinity for transverse rotation.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's the perfect 360 is perfect for, like, you know, if I would have had it for hockey and lacrosse,
Yes.
you know, it would have been awesome.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
better late than never.
Well, the dream is manifested now, 12 years later. The perfect tool for lacrosse and hockey,
Yes.
anything where you rotate.
Yeah.
Well, and other things too, obviously, but
For sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's fascinating, Dan. Well, this is so fun talking with you, as it always is. You're very high energy and very enthusiastic and very passionate about what you do.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I feel the same way.
I appreciate that too. Well, the snow will be falling here probably, 2 months. Less than 2 months.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll have to get in those mountains again
Right.
and shoot some crazy wild videos with the Monkii 360 and go splitboarding.
Oh yeah. I actually got snowed on in Rocky Mountain last weekend.
You did?
We were climbing up in the Longs Peak Cirque, and we got snowed on during the first pitch.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's crazy. But good for you. Was your wife and daughter with you too?
No, this was I went with this. I definitely would not take my wife and daughter.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, you recently did though, right? You went to camping.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I just we just did our first backpacking trip. We did 2 nights as a family with our sub 1-year-old daughter. She did awesome. She had more fun than anyone.
All eyes were on her,
Yeah.
making sure she's having a good time.
So, and I'd encourage people. It's work for sure, but I don't know. It's not that bad. Stoicism.
Ooh, stoicism. I like this. Yeah, I noticed you're talking about that recently too, and I've gone through some stuff this year, and stoicism has gotten me to like function and get through it, and just like compartmentalize and just function, and like it really helps. I think probably too with your firefighting background and a lot of probably stressful events you've probably been in, stoicism would definitely help in that capacity.
Right.
But camping with kids, a lot of our friends have kids, and so we love it when next weekend we're going camping with a couple of them. They're going to bring their kids, 2 of them this time.
Okay.
And so it's fun watching the process, and we're happy to help out too. It's a beautiful process to get people outside and then bring young ones outside and watch their curiosity and just trying to fathom what they're thinking and feeling and experiencing, right? And trying to make it good. Like, okay, let's make them comfortable and feel loved and supported, and then everything else is like secondary, right?
Yeah.
And then, it's beautiful. So we're looking forward to doing that, and I'm excited you got out with your daughter and your wife. That's the meaning of life, right?
Yeah.
Like, just being outside with loved ones.
Oh yeah, it's like I think too. The kids, they're pretty tough. Mm-hmm. They're not. She's not soft.
Good.
And I don't want to encourage people to be negligent, but I think you can also there's like the opposite side where you can be too, we all know this. You can be like, the overbearing or helicopter, whatever you want to call it, but they're going to be fine.
I think you're absolutely right. I grew up in Nebraska, and it pretty much was like they gave me a house key and I knew where the refrigerator was, and I'm like, all right, whatever. When the lights turn on the street, you should probably go home. It's simple. But we were at this 2-year-old birthday party last weekend. My wife and I don't have kids yet. Obviously, we have nieces, and we're going to have kids in the future.
Cool.
But it was fun watching different parenting styles. There's no right or wrong way, but you just saw the ones that totally got it. They're chill, they had their beard, and like, yeah, that's fine.
Right.
It's a boo-boo, it'll be fine.
Right.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kids, camping, awesome.
Yeah. Let the wild be their teacher.
Yes, right. Don't let them drown, but like just let them get scuffed up and play in the dirt and eat dirt and shit. That's totally fine. Well, Dan, I appreciate your time. Thanks for having me at Monkii Headquarters South. That's a cathedral in here, so you can probably hear the sound. And it's always a pleasure seeing you working on what you're passionate about. And thank you for your time and being on the show.
Thanks for having me. Monkii on, everyone.
Yeah, Monkii on. The guys at Sewell with Engearment.com. Stay tuned for upcoming reviews with MSR, Patagonia, North Face, and tons more on next week's show. I'll have links below to the Monkii 360 Kickstarter, as well as I'll try and find that video of Monkii Dan and me splitboarding and him doing a handstand push-up, because you need to see that. It's really entertaining. Until next time, guys, take care.